Everyone, Mark Edwards here. I just want to do a quick video today. We released our NHL Draft Rankings a couple weeks ago, so fairly recently. And also, I was in London last night, so I just figured I might as well jump on here and talk about last night's game. Flint was there. I've got some video going here in the window. Instat already did the game, so there's some bonk shifts here. Quite a few scouts there last night. Actually, not quite as many as I thought, given rescheduled game and the only game on the schedule for a Monday night. But still a fair amount of scouts. And Bonk was good, especially in the first two periods. Made a couple questionable passes in the third period. Unusual for him because he's so smart. But overall, played a really good game. I was actually talking to a friend of mine in the second intermission, and we were talking about if Mayu had Bonk's hockey sense to go along with Mayu's incredible skill, and if he had Bonk's high end hockey sense, just how unstoppable he'd be, just be that much more of a great prospect. But anyways, just continuing on, Barkey was okay. Seen him play better, but he was decent. He passed up some really good shooting opportunities and tried to make the extra cute play, an extra pass. But he was fine. I've seen him compete slightly harder too, but it wasn't like he didn't compete or wasn't giving effort. And then Easton Cowan really played well. I'm a fan of this kid. He kind of gets my he's just a hockey player line, which I always use that in a really complimentary way. When I say that, it's a really good thing. Very smart player. I could argue he's a 9 compete in our 3 to 9 scale. The compete is just up off the charts. And then smart player, not overly skilled, but he's not like he doesn't have any skill. He's not one of those guys where the skill is going to jump off the page at you and wow you. But still an impressive player, and just one of those players that any coach would like to have on his team. He's just so good in different situations, so smart, defensively responsible. And last night he was taking some hits to make plays, and also, kind of defended himself and fought back a little bit, which I'd like to see. So, and overall, good night for Cowan. And then Bowen got into the net in the third period, kind of, came in cold. So it was kind of rough on him. And Knights were playing a little loosey-goosey, so not the best showing seen of Bowen, but still he had a couple. He made one cross crease, had to stretch and then reverse and go the other way, and it was a pretty good save. But overall, not probably his finest period he's ever played. And then the Flint boys, well, Flint didn't get off the bus until the second period. They were just really bad last night, especially in that first period. Petrie, um, not a good night at the office for him. I've seen him play much better. Just about as poor a showing as you could probably have. Just a bad night at the office. And then Bertucci scored a nice goal, but the game was kind of over by then. But overall, he was far from the reason that Flint got destroyed last night. So, and then just quickly on our rankings, some really good talent. Obviously, probably not news, but some really good talent at the top of the draft. Some really special players up there. But then when we get past that first little grouping, it drops off for us in the first round, and we get into a scenario where I think it might be a little bit weaker, say in the second 2/3 of the top 32 than some other years. And then not so bad after that. There's some good B prospects and so on, and quite a few C's, to be honest with you. So a lot of players that I would give the draftable grade, but a lot of them are in the C's or C pluses in our grading system. And then just quickly, if I go quickly around the leagues, the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, probably the worst since I've been doing this, the weakest. I think we have 3 players in our top 60, maybe even 3 in the top 75 from the Quebec Major Junior League. Nobody in the top 32. You'll see Gauthier, I think, in the top 32 on some other lists. He's just outside our top 32 for us. And OHL, I think on my personal list, I got 14 OHLers in our top 75. Um, and you look at our top 32, there's 4 OHLers in that, and 3 of the 4 come in after the 26th pick. Now, Bonk, for example, on mine, I have slightly higher, but our combined list, he drops a little bit. Some of our other guys aren't quite as high on Bonk as I am, so he dropped a little bit in the overall. But Musty and Richie are around that range as well. And then we get in, there's a clump of guys in the next grouping between, the 33 and 75. There's a lot of guys in there from the OHL. USHL, not a strong year. US national program, definitely some great players. But if I was to compare it to some years, probably not as strong as some recent years overall when we go to the depth of it. Although we have several ranked near the, in the top 20 of our list that we really like. And then Europe, there's some great players. Russia, included in that, obviously. Some players we really like, but it remains to be seen what's going to happen with teams. I think it's really on a team by team basis on how high they want to be willing to take some of these Russians and that sort of thing. So um, next list. Will probably be our final. Might release one more, but there's a good chance that we're just going to wait it out and not release another NHL list until the final list in the Black Book. Which, yes, the NHL Draft Black Book is back again this year. Be a little bit different. Not going to be packed with the game reports. We're going to do it a little bit different here, just simply to try and get this thing out a little bit easier. It's just become a ridiculous amount of hours to try and pack it all in there. So it'll look a little bit different. But when I say different, for people that have bought it every year, I mean the styles can be the same, all the player profiles, all that sort of content. Nothing will be different there. It'll be the same level of quality that we've always done. So that'll be good to get that going here. I've actually just started it last weekend, just kind of getting it set up and that process. You can't start too early because we're still evaluating, which is one of the reasons it makes it so difficult to do such a large amount of content in such a short time. But setup wise, I can start getting the book template, so to speak, set up and get some players' data in there and that sort of thing. So other than that, just another week as we make our way towards the playoffs and then the U18 and climb our way through to final meetings to get this final list out. Niagara's got a game tonight. I think Hamilton's down there, and then Gatineau's at home tomorrow. I think I'm going to make my way into the Quebec Major Junior League starting tomorrow. That's my plan as of now, anyway. So. With that, I think I'll wrap this up. Hope everybody's doing well. And this is my first video in a while for a few different reasons, but just time gets away from you here. As we got to the Christmas holiday hockey and all that sort of thing. So again, we'll try and do these a little more often, but really the number one priority is to produce the audio, the platinum audio for our members, and obviously just to go to games and do as many reports and see as much as we can to evaluate these guys. All right, everyone, have a great day and a great rest of your week, and we'll talk again sometime soon.